Okay. We ready to talk about Jingle All the Way, holiday classic from 1996. Of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad, Phil Hartman, R.I.P.
Sinbad.
Rita Wilson, right? Married to Tom Hanks, I think, is the mom.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah,
No, that's true. Yeah, it is.
Came out in 1996. Basic story is workaholics. I mean, it's the 90s. Dad works too much, doesn't pay enough attention to his kid, like trope, right? Like almost every movie in the 90s, like Liar Liar, The Santa Claus, like everything is just dad works too much. So workaholic Howard Langston, Arnold Schwarzenegger, wants to make things up with his son Jamie and wife. He promises to get Jamie the hottest toy of the season, Turbo Man, even though it's Christmas Eve and the toy's practically sold out. As Langston hunts down the elusive gift, he runs into mailman Myron, Sinbad, another father on the same quest. With the clock winding down, Langston's moral code is tested, and he starts to learn the real meaning of Christmas. Which, right off the bat, does he really learn, is there a lesson learned here by Arnold Schwarzenegger's Howard? Like, I
would say the first one is a little better than the second one in the fact that about the meaning of Christmas and not,
we're talking about the
it's
first
not all about the commercialized side of it, but it's still not great.
Yeah. So yeah, we're only talking the first one here. We'll do this. We're going to do like two separate things.
Yeah, I know that.
So yeah, I guess sure. Where do we want to start with the first Jingle All the Way?
So can we start? Know. We should probably look and see what Arnold's movies were before this, because when did he go into? Because he did some movies with Danny DeVito, where he switched out of that like action hero type role into more of like these. I don't want to say rom-coms, but
Danny
like
DeVito, well-known family actor.
Well, like comedies. Twins. Yeah, so here's his I got his IMDb up here, because you're right, like he did all those action movies in the 80s and early 90s, but so Twins with Danny DeVito was 88, and then Kindergarten Cop was 1990, and then he did Terminator 2, and then, Kindergarten Cop, and then he did a movie
Terminator
Day.
2 is awesome.
Oh yeah, it's like the best action movie of all time.
Great sequel.
Yeah.
What was it's bothering me that I can't think of the bad guy's name in the Terminator 2.
Is that the liquid dude?
T-5000?
The T-1000.
T-1000.
Yeah. The liquid dude.
All right, keep going, Matt. Sorry. It just popped in my head about Terminator 2.
No, yeah, great movie.
Oh, I guess True Lies is kind of like a crossover. He kind of gets into the more.
Yeah, I mean, there's funny moments, but that's like an action comedy. That's a James Cameron movie.
But it's a crossover.
Yeah, so thing. that was 94, along with the movie Junior, and then Eraser was 96, and then Jingle All the Way, and then in 97 he did Batman and Robin when he was Mr. Freeze.
Classic role.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think this is kind of in the tail end of like the super popular Arnold Schwarzenegger time. Like I think that was
Collateral Damage. I'm looking at some of his other movies. I really liked Collateral Damage.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that's like still okay, like in the 2000s, but I think the heyday of Arnold Schwarzenegger was the 80s and early 90s. So this is kind of on the tail end. Like maybe people will go see a movie with his name on it, but I don't know.
I feel like they're just selling his name at that point.
But yeah, he wanted to do this movie to be like an everyday person, which, like right off the bat, I can't buy him as like a dad. Like throughout this movie, whenever he's sitting behind the desk or if he's like at the mall or just talking in general, I can't buy it. I'm like, you need to be holding a machine gun right now, hunting something down. Like I don't buy you as an everyday dad. There's just the way he talks or whatever when he's like early in the movie when he's in his son's bedroom and trying to like, like have a good time, or, you know what I mean? Yeah, like try to, because his son's pissed at him, so he's trying to like make up with him.
But I love you.
Yeah, it's like I just can't buy anything you're saying. Like,
why?
Like, I don't
He's
know.
too big. He's too big. He just all of his clothes, he's just freaking huge.
Yeah, he's kind of too ripped to be a mattress salesman.
Yeah,
That's
like,
the funniest
buy my
thing.
mattress.
That's the
It's
funniest.
so cheap.
Because I haven't seen this movie in years. I could not remember what his job was, and I'm like, mattress salesman. All right, that's what we decided to go with. All right, like literally could have done anything, and that's what we went with. Cool, but yeah, I don't know. It was just tough for me to buy him as an everyday man. Like when he's in the fight with the Santas, I'm just like, you're gonna murder all these Santa Clauses. Like you're just enormous compared to them. Like I don't know. It was tough for me to buy him.
He kind of does rip through him.
He does until
the one guy.
But then because he's so big, they have to bring in like an actual wrestler to be the shirtless.
Was it the Big Show?
I was gonna say, was it the Big Show?
I think
so. It was.
He almost looked too skinny to be the Big Show, but it looked like his face. And then they had like the other like
the midget elves. Or,
yeah,
the little person elves.
I was gonna say the 18th small person in Tiptoes showed up.
That was Vern Troyer, right? Like
was it really?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Vern Troyer in Tiptoes? That's like a catastrophe if he wasn't. Like, I guess maybe he wasn't super. I don't know. Like, when did Austin Powers really come out? Probably shortly after that.
Late 90s, the first one?
First one was, but he was in the second one.
So he was in the second one as Mini-Me. He wasn't in the first one.
He's dead too, right?
Yeah. R.I.P.
He was on my list.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, our last draft. Yep.
Santa in the Warehouse. I'm looking up the cast.
Oh,
Santa. Oh yeah, it is.
It is the Big Show?
Yeah, it's Paul Witt.
Yeah, I definitely know the Big Show's first and last name.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'm just going to type in
it's definitely the Big Show.
Jingle all the way.
It's definitely the Big Show.
Paul White. Yeah, it's him.
Yeah.
Called it.
So
speaking of, we're on the first one, but like WWE Entertainment.
Yeah, no, that was definitely something. That was something to note for the second one for sure. I definitely caught that. So yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Howard. Again, stereotypical dad. I think it's hilarious, like mattress salesman, and then of course it has to open with the whole he's trying to get to a kid's activity. It's like Hook, right? Like Robin Williams is like that, again, stereotypical dad doesn't pay attention to his kid. He's got to get to his baseball game. And he's got to get to his son's karate or kung fu like thing in this movie, which is so mid-90s to me. Like, when was kung fu ever popular in like the
mid-90s?
In like the general, other than maybe this 2 years?
When did the Karate Kid come out? Because then you could probably nail it.
I feel like I knew so many kids that took like Taekwondo and shit like that, like in between the ages of like 6 and 13. And then,
oh my God, the
Karate
Kid was 1984, so this is even way back.
Yeah, so I like how way back.
Wait, it's not even close. I thought it was 90s.
Way backer.
Way backer. Savannah's already rubbing off on you.
Yeah. This is why I like Jingle All the Way 2 more.
Yeah.
I just related to the main character.
Yeah.
I felt like his speech he just talked to me.
Yeah, and the way he lives and everything. Yeah.
I also tried hiring him last week.
I'm sure everyone in Savannah sounds like Larry the Cable Guy.
What were we even talking about?
I was just talking about how I like how karate is like the thing that the kid is like really into at this time, because that's just such a small window that karate was like popular in the general public. And I like how he freaks out that he was missing his like yellow belt to blue belt or whatever, or green belt, because that's like the third stage. Like that's like the second or third. I think it goes white, yellow, and then the next one. So
sounds like somebody who did karate. And
I did it. I did kung fu. It probably in the same exact period of time until yellow belt, and I'm like, I'm done with this, because that's when people stop caring about it.
Yellow is my favorite color. I want to stop.
Yeah, I'm done. And then I love scenes like this too, where Arnie shows up to the school where there's no cars in the parking lot. Like you're late. I don't even know why he's still trying to drive.
Yeah, he's still popping in the door.
And it's all the lights are off. You pop in the door, and it's like you're so late. The janitor is is the only person there, and he's cleaning everything up. Like I have no idea what you're even thinking there.
It's like you can assume that if it was starting at 6 o'clock and it's 8:30, it's probably over.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's just kind of a shitty dad in this movie all around. Like, I don't even know how many redeeming qualities there are about him in this. He doesn't really learn a lesson. And
he did control a jetpack.
Yeah, there's an actual working jetpack in this movie, which
I want to know who did they have originally to fit in that suit, because no one's just gonna fill it out like Arnold fills it out.
Yeah, he's really lucky that it fit him, that it happened to be his size.
Yeah, just
it fit him perfectly.
Dude. I just want to say too, because we're talking about like while we're early on and talking about how he's a mattress salesman. He was working awfully hard and awfully late for being a mattress salesman. Like, I understand mattress salesmen might have like accounts with hotels, but at what point at like 7:30 at night are they like dealing with hotels? And like, I feel like if you're a mattress salesman and you're rich enough and have a nice enough neighborhood and house where they do in the suburbs of Minneapolis, that like you're probably done on corporate time. Like,
I don't know what kind of demand there is for mattress salesmen. Like, kind of what Bo was saying. Like,
I do have something though that's been brought up. Have you ever heard the conspiracy theory about there's like the huge mattress place that is everywhere. It's like every 4 fucking blocks, especially around Milwaukee. Like, I don't know if it's Mattress Firm or whatever it is. And people have like made a conspiracy that like it has to be a money laundering scheme for the mafia, because there's no way there's this many people buying mattresses that you have like 15 mattress firms within like 4 square miles of each other.
I have seen this. Do they map this stuff out? Like, there's like maps drawn up
it's
with
like
dotted lines and like territories and stuff.
I'm not saying I believe it, but it is ridiculous that there's this many mattress stores in the world for like, how often do you buy a mattress?
I'm planning on keeping the same mattress I have until I die. I'm fine anyway.
As long as Duchess doesn't shit worms on it, you'll keep it.
That's only carpet, and we still have that.
Back to the movie. Enough talking dog shit. Until we get to the sequel of this movie, at least. But so yeah, Arnold, terrible dad, terrible 90s dad, trying to make up with his son. His son tells him what he wants for Christmas is a Turbo Man doll, which is just a knockoff of the Power Rangers at this point, which were probably big at the time. I definitely watched
Cabbage
it.
Patch Kids. That was what this was.
It's more of a knockoff of Iron Man.
Yeah, but I feel like Power Rangers is more popular than Iron Man at the time. Like, no one's gonna knock off Iron Man.
I thought the knockoff of the Power Rangers was the weird little creatures that came out to try and fight them on the float that were all like red color, blue color.
No, I think the whole concept of like Turbo Man and like that whole show is just
it did give
knockoff.
That vibe.
And
Booster is hilarious, though.
Booster is hilarious. No one wants him, but he's pretty hilarious.
The weirdest and least athletic-looking tiger of all time.
Yeah, he's a saber-toothed tiger.
It's literally the Hunchback of Tiger Dame.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Booster. That's whenever I think of Booster, I just have to say it in that fucking accent of just
Booster.
No one wants Booster. But the kid that plays his son is fucking Anakin Skywalker from episode 1 that came out 3 years after this, though.
So I Googled that kid. I don't know if you're going into this at all. He's lived a rough life.
Yes, very, very rough. Like, I feel bad for him. Mainly because of Star Wars, because like this came out first, Star Wars, and he basically got Star Wars because of this movie. George Lucas was like, this other kid that we're like screen testing, it's between Jake Lloyd, like this kid, and then the kid who didn't get Anakin. And George Lucas was like, this other kid, not Jake Lloyd, is better, but let's go with Jake Lloyd because he's acted before, so he'll be able to like react better on set. So he got that role because of this movie, basically.
I don't understand
rough life.
Why first Star Wars gets so much hate. That episode 1.
I mean, it's not great. It's not the worst one, but it's definitely not great. And people are like, the reason
this could be a whole nother topic.
Yes,
we could go down a rabbit hole here, but I will say the prequels are not that. I liked the prequels.
People our age like him because we grew up with him, but we don't need to go down that rabbit hole. Basically, people shit on him for years because he played Anakin and people didn't like him as Anakin. But yeah, so he's in this movie. This is like his first role. And he's okay. He's a kid. Like he's a kid actor. He's okay in this.
He's very believable.
He's very endearing. He's cute. Like he's a cute
really
kid.
Cute.
Yeah, and
I mean, Anakin.
That's why I Googled him. Is I was like, did this kid like grow up like he looks like he would have been like a little like perfect kid for that movie? Did he grow up into be something and now he's like a diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic and like tried to potentially murder his mom?
Like, I want to hug him.
I was saying,
but
like,
him as Anakin.
He's like 31, Quinn. He's like
not him. Him as Anakin.
I must say,
Jamie.
I must say, as a dad now, I feel for this kid, and I would never make fun of a kid actor now. I'm already pulling that card out.
I don't know. Some kid actors deserve to be made fun of. What the fuck Taylor Lautner doing these days?
Well, again, he's older than us, right? Like at this point, like not a kid actor.
Pull out the ammo right now. Let's pull out the gun that Sinbad was talking about with 7 different artilleries.
Yes. Well, so good transition because Sinbad is in this. I actually think he's kind of funny in this. So he's
amazing.
He's another dad that Arnie meets up with that's looking for Turbo Man. They kind of team up, but kind of go against each other a little bit. He ad-libbed apparently like all of his lines in this movie, which I completely understand.
And Arnold kind of ad-libbed off of their conversations. They're pretty much all ad-libbed from what I picked up.
Yeah, well, when you don't know what he's gonna say, I guess you kind of got to roll with the punches a little bit.
If you put it that way, Arnold did a pretty good job, considering he is who he is. He did a pretty good job.
I mean, you just had to be dismissive. That was basically it. You just had to be like, no, like please leave me alone.
Like, go away. I don't like you.
Go away.
It was the worst Arnold impression I've ever heard.
Yeah, it was horrible. I'm so bad at accents.
That role was originally supposed to be Joe Pesci because one of the producers of this movie is Christopher Columbus, who directed Home Alone.
Also founder of America.
Yes, and also,
not a good guy though.
Murdered a bunch of natives, but founded America, so we treat him as a god here.
That's sidebar.
Wait, who?
Christopher Columbus.
Yeah. He's not a good person.
No, but he directed Home Alone, so he's an awesome director, right?
Wait, there's a director named Christopher Columbus.
Okay, I thought Bo was with me on the joke. There is a director whose name is Christopher Columbus.
Yeah,
he directed the movie Home Alone.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that he directed Home Alone.
And he directed the first 2 Harry Potter movies.
I didn't know
Not the same person as the founder of America who died.
I got that because that guy's been dead for
you're telling me the guy that's
200, 300 years.
Yeah, you're right. The guy that sailed in, 1492, only 200 to 300 years ago.
Wow, I am learning so much today.
Yeah, this,
I did not realize it was coming for a history lesson.
Happy holidays. Knowledge is the best gift of all time. So, but so the end of it is, because Christopher Columbus was like a producer on this movie, he wanted Joe Pesci to be the Sinbad role. But the studio didn't want him in it because they're like, you're too short and you're going to have like towering Arnold Schwarzenegger next to you. We need like a taller person. So they nixed that. I think Joe Pesci would have been pretty good. I mean, I think Sinbad is great and one of the better parts of the movie. But I love Joe Pesci. I'll watch anything he's in. So
that would have been interesting to see Arnold and Joe Pesci together.
Yeah.
I feel like an Italian person would have worked out well. Like that, like an Italian personality, like a stereotypical like mobster New Yorker. Well, I guess it's not from New York, but like like Joe Pesci.
I like Sinbad.
No, I do.
Sinbad's awesome.
I do too, but I could have seen like why Joe Pesci would have fit the role of that.
Like he basically he'd be playing the Home Alone role basically. Like play this angry guy. Like, you know what I mean? So I think Sinbad's pretty good in this. He's got a couple good gags. He's the adult humor of the movie, right? Like you got all the easy kid stuff, but I even like when you first meet him and they're outside the store, he's starting to go off and he's rolling in his rant. He just grabs the lady next to him and then like kind of fake chokes her a little bit, and everyone's just like, "What the fuck is going on with this guy?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You really shouldn't wear fur, by the way." Like, but I think I like him. He's the one with maybe it's not Buffalo Trace, but an ode to Buffalo Trace. He's the guy with the liquor too, right? Like, dipping it, offering it to Arnie a little bit, and he's got the bomb gag later on in the movie too.
The litter bomb.
Which I haven't seen this movie in so long, I forgot about that. Maybe a little bit in poor taste because I think a lot of that was going on in real life at the time, but kind of funny at the same time, like how he does it twice too. It's like the first time it's like, oh well, that isn't really a bomb, and then the second one is actually a bomb, and like those cops would all be dead, right? Like if this wasn't a kid movie, like he's literally holding it.
I was waiting for that when the bomb went off and he was walking down the tunnel and he was like he had the epiphany that it was a real bomb, Sinbad. And then I was like, there's no way that they're gonna like imply that those cops just all got blown up on the like 40th floor of that tower. And then of course they show the cop with the typical like Looney Tunes,
for
black
sure.
Shit.
Oh, he's fine.
Yeah, like, oh no, he's fine. But I thought that was funny too when he has the realization that it was a bomb. He's like, that was really a bomb? This is a sick world we're living in. Like another just like, I don't know. I like his delivery on a lot of his jokes or lines in this movie. So I like Sinbad in it a lot. This was the last role of Phil Hartman.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, and then he was.
I didn't realize this was his last role.
And we did a live watch on Small Soldiers, which he was in just like the year or two before this too. So, I mean, he plays a creep in this movie, but R.I.P. all the same. But yeah, what do you think of? What did you think of Phil Hartman as the horny like neighbor who's like the dad that all the ladies want to get with, but Rita Wilson, but she's the one he wants for whatever reason?
That was one of those weird like story arcs that like I didn't really get. Like there was so many like implications from like other neighborhood women about him sexually, like very adult humor.
Yeah, that was a little uncomfortable.
God, I miss the 90s when you could be so not PC with your humor.
Well, to be fair, Quinn, it was women talking to men like that, which you probably can still get away with these days. It's just not the other way around anymore.
Yeah.
But but it was just like a weird story arc that it's just like this guy who is, I don't know, he looks like a overweight like Stephen Colbert kind of, like obviously it's Phil Hartman, but like it's not like this dude is like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like super handsome and ripped and all this and like European Austrian accent, and they just all of a sudden this guy's like a phenom because he likes to hang up Christmas lights and give his kids reindeer to pet occasionally.
Because he's a good dad, all right, except
but only because
that one wife. Except
Let's say
the one time.
The kid says, or like Jamie is like, when did your dad like get cool? And he's like, oh, when my parents got divorced. Like that's when he really started to get like be nice. And then the kid, like, which jerk kid, because then he goes to Jamie, he goes, maybe your parents should get divorced. I'm just like, whoa, okay, what the fuck is that? I was wrong. Small Soldiers was actually his last movie. This was his second to last movie. So I had him flipped for Phil Hartman. But yeah, just super horny dad. It was weird. Like he does that weird face where he's hugging or trying to take the apron off of the mom. And then you see his face when like, his face is past hers when they're like kind of hugging. And he just does like the weird super horny dad face where he like rolls his eyes back a little bit. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, what kind of role is this for him? But whatever, I guess.
He owns it.
Yeah, he does. I guess a couple of things I wanted to go over. What did you guys think of Turbo Man itself and like the toy and the idea behind it, like the design of it and the show and everything?
I think it's hard to not look at it as Iron Man, even because we lived through the Iron Man phase. I wondered what my thoughts would have been before an Iron Man came out.
It's still interesting. Like, I guess for the 90s, like, it kind of made sense. I don't know about the obsession about it, but like, it still was like unique, I guess, and cool for the 90s, you know?
Yeah, like I don't know. I was asked because I actually think, even though it's very much a ripoff of Power Rangers, I think it's a cool design, and at least they give a good reason as to why this toy would be so hard to find. Like, like there's this show, it's really popular, and it's a hard toy, and it's like a cool toy. I mean, it's a foot tall. It isn't like this tiny thing, and it's got like all the, as they would say, like bells and whistles, as they say. It's got all the actions to it. Like, I think it would actually be a cool toy to have. So I thought they did a good job with it.
It reminds me kind of like, this is not on my list, by the way, but it kind of could be, maybe, is like those Transformer toys that, I mean, I
had that.
Yeah,
they're like a foot tall.
Like something that was like, it was like a doll, but it actually had like a mechanical ability to it. I feel like I loved that type of stuff when I was, whatever, the ages 4 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Gundam
Probably.
Warriors?
More like 4 to like 24, but
Yeah.
4 to 10.
I'll say, here's my wall of like Star Wars like toys up there.
4 to 31.
Steve Carell. 40-year-old virgin Steve Carell over here.
Don't break the plastic. You can't play with them.
It's more than Haley's engagement ring right there sitting on the shelf.
It's it's an investment. Like, it's like mattress money, as they say. No, here, yeah. Look, some of them are straight from like from 1980. The ones on the end there.
So what is the most expensive thing on that shelf?
They're not really that expensive. I was kind of messing with each of the toys, like in the cardboard and plastic. They're probably like $5 or $6 on eBay. The ones from the 80s are maybe 20, 25 each. Okay. They're not. It's not really worth it. It's not really worth a ton. I've had them, and I'm like, I'm gonna put them up on a shelf. Why not?
You know what? They might be worth a bunch when you're dead, and Miles is like 80.
Yeah, there you go. It's his college fund.
Miles' retirement fund.
This is his college fund up here.
I got a whole bucket of Beanie Babies if you want them to.
Yeah, if those come around in value, I remember those being such like, they're going to be worth so much money later in life, and I'm like, they're probably worth
that was the Beanie Baby company trying to sell you a dream.
Yeah, those can't be.
There's a couple of them that are worth thousands of dollars, but
a lot of the ones that are like misspelled, if you still have the tags, I like looked up because I literally had actually a bunch of them, and like some of them were like 60 grand if like you had a misspelled weird rainbow crab, whatever his name was, or something like that.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Didn't have any of them.
It has to be a mistake, though. That's like any toy. There has to be like a mistake with it for it to be worth anything, which is
it's like sad. It's like a rookie Brett Favre card with the R before the V is worth like a shit ton of money.
Brett Favre.
Yeah. Favre.
For the Falcons?
Yeah, he was drafted by the Falcons. My dad bought me a rookie card of his when I was like in middle school that is still laying around somewhere.
Is it misspelled?
I don't know. I have to check that now. I didn't know that was a thing, so I'll have to look into that. If it is, that's the greatest present of all time.
I hope it is misspelled, and then you Google it, and I was totally lying, and it's worth like $12.
It's worth less. Like, fuck. Damn it.
You're gonna run upstairs and be like, Haley, we're selling our house.
We're moving to Savannah. We're gonna buy the whole town up.
I'm buying wherever Quinn's trying to move.
You can buy a block. It's not that bad. Probably cost you
buy a block in Savannah for like a bag of meth.
You're gonna have to move the meth heads out.
You just toss it in the general direction, and then they'll just scatter off. Like a bunch of golden retrievers.
Yeah, scatter. But no, funny transition. I wish I had one on my shelf here. But so a company actually made a Turbo Man doll after this movie came out.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, they actually made them. They only made. I was trying to look it up to.
I was saying, do they have a Dementor too?
I think they only did Turbo Man,
Okay.
but I think they only made like 200,000 of them. So there aren't a ton of them out there. And if you go, I'm gonna go on eBay right now and actually check.
For how many people want a Turbo, like a fake movie doll? I feel like 200,000 is still a pretty good chunk. We'll just use like the theory that there's like 350 million people in America, and we just like do the division there.
Oh, some of these are going for $550.
Well, there you go. You look it up because
700 for one of its packaging.
The article,
$1,300.
How much does a Harrison bear cost?
we'll get to that later. But no, that's what I was gonna say. The article I was reading says like these regularly go for like $500 on eBay.
Yeah, I'm seeing here for 500 seems to be the low end.
So
That's crazy.
So yeah, I wish maybe they sold for like $25 in '96 when they initially came out. I wish I had one of those on my shelf here. That would have actually been something useful to go.
I mean,
towards.
550 is probably what inflation is by that time.
Yeah, I mean, $25 in '96. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, they actually did make a toy, and it's kind of one of the like an actual collector's item right now. So that's kind of
pretty legit.
Crazy. I feel like that's like, is it a collector's item though? I feel like that's one. I mean, it is obviously, but do you think it's only because of Schwarzenegger? If Schwarzenegger wasn't in it, do you think anybody would give a shit about it? But I feel like
they definitely sold it on Arnold's name.
Yeah, because I feel like Schwarzenegger stands are like a thing, like it's sort of a cult in a way.
Well, Arnold's kind of like a cultural icon at this point.
No, yeah, I'm not discrediting like why he's so popular, but I feel like the only reason anything from that movie would be popular is because he existed inside of it.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Yeah. No, I mean
I mean, if it was Larry the Cable Guy, would it be that popular of a movie?
That's true. I mean, if they ever made this movie with Larry the Cable Guy, it probably wouldn't be that popular. So
probably not. Probably wouldn't have even known it existed unless my friend, had told me about it and made me watch it.
Yeah.
Some people are born sociopaths.
Some people just want to watch the world burn, though.
I don't know. I mean, no comment. I mean, yeah, I'm sure this company probably didn't decide to make this into an actual toy until like Arnold was cast. And they're like, okay, we can probably sell this like off of this movie a little bit.
For sure.
And I'm sure they would have made more than just the 200,000 if the movie would have done well at the box office. Because
the dolls. I thought you were saying the movie made 200,000. I was like, holy shit!
No, it wasn't that bad. I think.
I thought this movie made a lot of money.
So the budget was 75 mil, and the box office worldwide was 130. And again, you normally have to double the budget to cover marketing, in which case it lost.
Wait, the budget on this was 75 million?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of that was just to pay Arnold to be in this movie.
I was gonna say the budget on the second one was only like 15 million.
But again,
that was just to pay for the one house that existed.
Yeah,
like the second movie, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I mean, this had to have lost money. So I'm sure they would have made more dolls if it would have actually done better. But Jim Belushi, really quickly, was in this movie. I like how he's credited as James Belushi, like they're trying to class him up a little bit, but I mean,
who is he again?
He's the Santa, the mall Santa.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh.
Which I think, because this movie takes place in Minnesota, having grown up like in the Twin City area, they have to like hit all the stops like Mall of America, the fucking what is it, Mickey's Diner.
Yeah, Mickey's Diner is just in every fucking 90s Minnesota movie.
Yeah, Mighty Ducks. Like, it's in every Mighty
Ducks. Like 3
Ducks.
of them. But...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Mighty Ducks 2, and this.
It's Mighty Ducks D2, the Mighty Ducks, and then D3. Okay. I mean, let's get that right. Respect. I mean, although they are rebooting that into a show, also starring Emilio Estevez.
Isn't Mickey's not even in Minneapolis? Isn't it in St. Paul, or am I wrong?
St. Paul.
It is in St. Paul.
Okay. It might be. I mean, it's the Twin Cities are kind of interchangeable.
It's like you almost grew up there, but you didn't.
I was almost. It was 30 minutes away. It's right there.
Why didn't they show the giant Church of Scientology while they're by Mickey's Diner? It's only like 4 blocks away.
We try to avoid that in pop culture as much as possible. We just pretend it's not there. Yeah, Tom Cruise is also a psychopath.
What? He's a really nice
His
guy.
rant was just that killed me, by the way.
His rant, yeah, no, psychopath. I mean, he's right, but his delivery, insane person.
Someone who's, I forgot who was talking about it, but they're like, just imagine Tom Cruise, because he doesn't want to break protocol, standing 6 feet away from these people, screaming, like spitting in the direction, like just knows 6 feet exactly away from where he's trying to.
You think he had to stand on a step stool so that he could look them in the eye?
That's probably true. Or he's just wearing like,
Yes, please take a seat beforehand.
Yeah. He has everyone sit down and he stands up so that he can just look down.
I would have never guessed Tom Cruise was crazy. That's so interesting.
Yeah, again, learning something new, right? That's brand new information.
I would have never guessed he was a crazy person.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess I've been talking a lot. What overall thoughts on the movie? What are some parts you guys liked or didn't like? Like, I kind of enjoy this movie. Just up front.
I like it. I think it's entertaining. It's stupid. It's silly, but I think all the characters fit really well. Arnold, for what he is, he's still really good as in his role. I think he's hilarious. I think Sinbad's awesome. Phil Hartman's weird, but who cares? It fits.
Arnold punches a reindeer.
Yeah. He's like, nah, what does he say? Like, this is the wrong day. And just whack.
Yeah.
That's such an Arnold. Yeah, he's still got his Arnold roles like that he plays in his action.
Where else are you getting like great cinema that is punching a reindeer than in this movie? Like, this is great cinema.
Well, then the next scene, he's getting drunk with the reindeer and pouring beer out in his food bowl.
Dude, the Santa fight in the warehouse is one of my favorite scenes of this movie. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a guy with
underground
nunchucks.
Santa ring.
There's like nunchucks that are candy cane.
Yeah, come on.
What were they gonna do with him if the cops didn't show up? Like, are they gonna like kill him? Like Arnold? Like, are they just taking him out back and putting him in the dumpster? I don't know what
casino style. They're just gonna hammer right to the hand.
Like, I'm like, what's your end game here, Santa's? Like, I don't know what they're doing, but whatever. But no, like, I mean, objectively, this is not a good movie, but I enjoy.
Oh no,
I think it's actually,
not, but it's entertaining.
I actually thought like it's like, if it is what it is. Actually, well, not actually. That's probably what I was trying to be. Is it feels like it's a good cross movie of. It's a children's movie, but it has enough like adult themes and had enough like minor adult humor moments that it actually was pretty satisfying to like. If I never seen it and Lennox were to grow up 6 years from now and he's like, I want to watch Jingle All the Way. I'm like, sure, let's watch it. I wouldn't have been disappointed that I watched it.
Could you say so much about another movie that we might talk about in the future?
Fuck!
Are you watching the Bucks game?
Yeah, they lost.
Shit, really? I kind of stopped paying attention.
Fucking Tatum just hit a game winner at the buzzer.
He has got the worst facial hair in all of the NBA.
He banked in a 3 from like a million miles away.
His hairline's pretty nice, though. When they manages to paint it on for the day.
God damn it.
Whatever.
Sorry. I have it on the TV here, and I'm like, the Bucks are up a point with like 6 seconds left. So I looked and okay.
Wait, yeah, you just froze, man. What?
Oh, it said Haley just texted me. Said your TV is 2 seconds ahead of mine. Frowny face. And then she was like, and then I knew he was gonna make that. Anyways, yeah, I mean, overall thoughts again. I'm sorry I interrupted with fucking Bucks. I mean, it isn't over yet, but potentially losing this game. There's 0.4 seconds. Overall thoughts on the movie. Like, again, objectively not good, but I still think it's kind of fun.
I think it did roll well.
Was that it rolled well? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I said I think it did its roll well. Like, I think that it was trying to be exactly what it was, which was like a cheesy children's flick with a little sprinkle of adult humor here and there, and it worked out.
Yeah.
And obviously it was like the fucking jetpack scene at the end of the movie, just flying around like a lunatic. Like That was a little aggressive, but
that's where it definitely lost me. I mean, you're already in the movie, like whatever. Like I don't know what "lose me" means with this movie, but I mean to have a working jetpack during a parade. Like,
yeah,
I mean, like,
in the 90s too. Like
Yeah.
we barely figured out jetpacks now. In
I
2000.
mean,
Hey, James Bond did it in like the 70s.
well,
okay?
I was thinking the Rocketeer. I'm like, I know the Rocketeer came out just like a couple years before this movie, so jetpacks were maybe cool, but I thought that was a little ridiculous. Giannis missed the tip in.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It only would have tied it.
Wait. Did they call a foul? Did they call a foul?
How do you not know this, man? They either made the
It's
shot.
on mute. It's on mute. Okay.
So, what are they doing? Are they letting him for free throws? Or?
No, they're just, the Celtics teams are pissed off though. All the players are pissed, which like they're yelling at the ref, which makes me think that they
Maybe they're
called
calling like an inbound violation.
There's one of a million things that could be.
Update to come. They put the time back on the clock, and Giannis is at the line.
Oh yeah, it's just popping up on my phone right now.
Well, good thing his free throws are fixed.
Who he made the
Is he at
first?
the line? Like when is he getting the ball for you, Matt? I don't know. If my phone's-
He already shot the first free throw for me.
Oh, fuck. Did he make it? I'm way
Yes.
behind. You just
He-
narrate it.
He made the first. This goes to overtime. I'm gonna have to like put blinders up for a little while. Fuck no, he shorted it. We lost.
Good thing it's the first game of the season.
No, it's everything, Quinn.
We're gonna be 0-72. Trade Giannis.
It sucked because as soon as it left his hand, I could tell that it was short.
He
And
has
he-
that,
and he-
he has
back.
that motion where he slows down because he's so long.
Yeah.
You're like, you can see him mid-stroke. You're like, nope, that's short.
It was, and he knew it too. But yeah, as soon as it left his hand, I was short.
You should have volleyball bumped it back in. Like,
Fucking fix it, bro.
Okay,
You're 8 years in. Fix it.
Bucks just lost. Season over before it even started. Okay.
all right, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's go. We're almost done wrapping up
White
the
draft.
first one, and then we'll
Boosta.
get to the second one. But yeah, anyway, ending's ridiculous. Working jetpack. Both Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad should have been arrested a million times throughout this movie. But
Yeah, it's
whatever.
amazing that they don't get arrested.
Well, I mean, Sinbad does at the end.
Yeah, he does. But he gets his toy.
But yeah,
That is the only redeeming quality of this movie where you're like, oh, where the kid realizes that he should get the toy. That's the
but
only heartfelt moment of the movie.
if I'm the kid, like, keep that toy because it's probably going to be worth money later on in life. I mean,
Yeah, that's right.
Like $500 worth on eBay.
I'm sure, yeah, if I was 8 years old and I kept all my weird toys in my packages, they'd be worth money when I was 8. And I was thinking about, when I'm
You know he would have sold that
That's
toy
gonna be
for
worth
some
a lot of
drugs
money.
now.
would you? Oh, okay, too soon. What would you have done in this situation? Like, would you have done anything different than Arnie? Like, I would have taken the toy from Phil Hartman. Like, fuck that guy. That guy's an asshole, and his
Yeah,
kid
but it
is
was
an
the
asshole.
kid. It was his
The
kid.
kid's an asshole too, though. He wants Jamie's parents to get divorced.
It's true, but he didn't know that at the time.
Like, I'm either taking the bilingual one and just like Jamie opens it and it's broken, be like, oh, sorry, guess I'll get you a real one, and it kind of buys you some time. Or I steal it from Phil Hartman and like fuck that guy.
So I actually thought about, though, like the best excuse in the world is when he would have got dropped off with his car after it got totally like scalped, the wheels, the doors, and everything, and be like,
Merry
I went
Xmas.
in to go get food quick, and everything was stolen out of my car. You would have been golden ticket. Like,
That's good. Yeah, no, that's good too. Like,
That's
yeah,
the first thing I
involves
thought of, like,
lying.
what?
That still involves lying.
this entire movie is him
The entire
lying.
movie wasn't a lie.
It's not about him lying, man. It's about the Christmas
ending was
spirit.
still a lie. Like, he never told the truth. He
Yeah.
never walked.
This
the
whole
thing.
movie is lying, which
He never resolved the truth.
like and this like they would recognize that it's him in that fucking suit, right? Like I know like
No,
his voice is
the
apparently
mask.
changed. It's a clear visor. You can see
forgot.
from here down and it's a clear visor. It's
No one-
yellow tinted.
What are you
but
saying that everyone has that chiseled jawline?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very particular jawline that Arnold has. Yes, I think you could. Point
If they showed pictures of just jawlines, like, would you know? Oh, that's Quinn.
You don't have a jawline like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
If you put on glasses, yeah, it's still.
Everybody do this.
Anyway,
I think it would be more difficult for Jamie the kid to recognize him, but I would think that his wife would have even like
for real.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I've been making out with that mouth for the last like.
I know that mouth.
Yeah, I
know that mouth.
I love this.
Where do I know that mouth from?
I love this shape.
You know what? Hey, props to Liz too for going violent against Creepy Hartman.
Oh yeah, no, I was very happy that, especially watching it like as a kid, for whatever reason, I thought that Phil Hartman was creepy. I'm just like, thank God she doesn't go for it. Like she thinks he's creepy too. Like thank God.
She's full on. You're a creep. Just give me my eggnog. I'm gonna go to the prey.
Yeah, no, for sure. Slice it later. The first one, I'm gonna actually objectively not a good movie. I'm still gonna call it good because like I'm nostalgic about it and I still enjoy watching it. I'm calling it good.
I'm giving it a good rating too. I really enjoyed that first one. I don't know what it is about it, but I just like the characters.
I think it's just funny, like Arnie trying to be a normal guy is just entertaining to me.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was good too. I said when we were talking about it originally, I just feel like it played its role well. Like it was a children's movie and it felt like a children's movie, but it still had adult humor. And yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger is just that was a hilarious role for him.
Yeah. And so
like out of place, but like perfectly out of place.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like I don't think it was done on purpose, but he's just so out of place that it's like good. And funny.
And it's not even in like, yeah, it's not even good in like the bad way that it's good. Like The Room or whatever, like that's always the example. Like I just feel like he genuinely like it's a different kind of like just oddity that it's sometimes a weird character fits into a role so well that you
Arnold is Arnold. There's no other Arnold, and anytime you place him in a role that isn't an action hero role, it's going to seem so out of like Kindergarten Cop. That's a terrible movie, but everybody's going to know it's not a Tuma.
Yeah.
Because it's so out of place.
And it takes place in Minnesota, a warm spot in my heart. Like when they're running through the Mall of America and they go through Legoland, I'm like, yes, dude, in Legoland. I love that place.
I was actually thinking about that, how horrible Mall of America has to be around like non-COVID Christmas years. We used to play baseball every year in the Metrodome. Like we go up there and play some teams. And like, so we go to the Mall of America when we weren't playing. And it was like,
is that your toe knife?
Hellscape. And that was just in the middle of May. Like I could not imagine.
But it's such a touristy spot now. Like it's just always busy.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Like it was busy then. And like, I can't imagine during the holidays how much.
And they have an amusement park in the middle. So there's just, whether it's like you're there for the mall or like that is always busy too. So.
Right.
Fun fact, I went and got drunk there with my dad and brother during March Madness a couple years back.
Yeah, nice.
Badgers won.
Haley and I went there for like our 2-year like dating anniversary, and also during March Madness, Badgers were playing Ohio State when we had Brusewitz on the team.
Greg Brusewitz.
And we might have lost that game, but yeah, we also went there. So I like the Mall of America.
It was at the B-Dubs. We got smashed at a B-Dubs. My dad, my brother, and I just.
Your $200 bill because it's like $10.
Oh yeah, it was so expensive. I don't even know. I didn't pay for it. And then my mom and April and I think Chase was dating Nisha all came back, and my brother and my dad and I are smashed, yelling. Good times.
Yeah. Good times. Okay, you want to do draft of toys that we wanted for Christmas as kids?
I got it.
Okay, I'm doing the randomizer right now.
Do you have some like contingencies on this? Because like obviously like I feel like there's a point where like when you're like 17, you're sitting there and you're looking You're like, oh, it'd be sweet if my parents just bought me like a Subaru WRX STI and it's out in the driveway.
I'm gonna think like once the Santa cut off.
Well,
Probably would be a good one.
we'll do your own discretion because I do have one that is past the time of like I knew Santa wasn't a thing and it was kind of I just want my parents to get this
Matt
for
still
me.
hasn't gotten it, by the way.
I listen and find out. We'll discuss. But like just do your own discretion on it because like I get what you're saying. Like you don't want it to be like I'm almost an adult and I want this thing, but you want to keep to like the kid thing. So
sure. I was gonna say I feel like some of mine that I listed were things that like I appreciated as gifts the most that I didn't necessarily want, but like I feel like impacted my life to a different point that like I feel like that they were more important, you know? Because I don't feel like I asked for things when I was a kid. I was never a person that like was like, this is my Christmas list, this is my birthday list, and like wanted it. So
that's what I did. I just picked toys that I remember vividly. Like I got them and I was like, this is fucking sweet.
Yeah. Mine are they're not as deep as it sounds like Bo went with it, but I didn't do like a lot of lists either, but they're mostly toys.
I hope I don't go first. So then
I did the draft. Quinn's number 1, I'm number 2, Bo's number 3.
Oh, it's the first.
Perfect.
All right. Drum roll.
It was a great drum roll.
I was gonna say it was so loud in the beginning, and it was so unheard after.
And then
That's because my
Quinn was making
this
this very violent move, like underneath the table.
I got tired.
After one beat, just
my computer's not great, so it's really old, so it got loose as I was hitting it.
You don't want to hit it too hard; it's gonna fall apart.
Quinn's just gonna go after this. He's just gonna go YouTube Neil Peart videos and be like, "How does he drum so much without getting tired?"
All right, number 1, my number 1 choice: Tyco Rebound RC car.
Wait, what?
It was
Tyco Rebound RC car. It
That's
was
so
the remote control car that could go upside down, like it flips.
Was it blue and red?
Yes.
I had one of those. Those were awesome.
I used to spin it in the yard and dig holes.
Yeah, you'd go. So the controller had 2 joysticks on it, right?
Yep.
You'd go up on one and down on the other.
It would spin
yes.
and dig holes in the yard.
Yes. I feel like you get like all RC cars then, because otherwise, like I feel like RC car is such a good pick. I could just pick like the RC car that I got for Christmas instead.
No, this one was
I'm good. I like Quinn's pick here with this specific one though, because out of all the toys or RC cars that I had growing up, this was for sure my favorite. Like,
dude, this thing was legit. Like, this thing would fly. You do double joysticks, and that thing is hauling ass across your driveway.
Dude, mine is gonna suck. I was such a good first pick that now I'm like, I don't have specifics because I don't remember like what type of what I had. I just knew I was playing with it.
No, that's fine.
That's fine. I had to look it up.
Great. Yeah,
I didn't know the name.
That's fine. Great pick, Quinn. Mine is GameCube, but specifically the GameCube. No. The GameCube that came out when you pre-ordered Zelda Wind Waker in 2003, because the GameCube came with a free copy of all the Zelda games on a GameCube disc. Like from the NES, the N64, everything was converted to the GameCube, and it was put on one disc, and it was the only way that you could get it. So this is the only one that's like post Santa for me, because this came out in like 2003. But I just remember being like, I specifically want this GameCube when you pre-order this game, because then you get this free disc, which I still have. And it's something like, it's $100. It's kind of like NCAA football for you, Bo.
Mm-hmm.
Like they sell in stores for $100, $200. Like this disc, this like GameCube disc for Zelda, it's the same thing. Like it sells for $100, $200 in stores.
I don't even know. I was not a GameCube guy, so I don't even.
I played it, but yeah. What was the Dreamcast? That was the one that like was around that era that like 2 people had in your entire school. Like
Dreamcast was like
the remote.
Yeah. Dreamcast was like if you didn't have an N64 or a Sega Genesis, then like you had the Dreamcast, and it had a controller that I had no idea how to work. Like there's a fucking hole.
It had like
a hole. There was like a square hole like in the controller. I'm like, I don't even know what this is for. So yeah. So yeah, that's mine. Specifically the GameCube with the free Zelda promotional disc.
I don't know if this is like slightly cheating, but I was only like 12. But my first set of golf clubs.
Yeah.
Is that one fair?
Yeah, no, that's
okay.
A good
Why
one.
wouldn't that be fair?
But that's one of those things that like I never asked for, but then like my dad, just because he golfed, he got me golf clubs. And I knew he always golfed. He golfed every week. And then it was like, now all I want to do is golf and spend too much money on golfing. And I want new golf clubs every year. And my driver, I hooked like 12 out of 18 holes. And I'm like, all right, time for a new driver.
Definitely not the swing.
Definitely not my swing or my fundamentals at all.
It has nothing to do with my skill. It's always the club.
I gotta get a new driver and set it to slice because I hook it all the fucking time. I need to offset it with this setting.
Yeah. And then second pick, this one is a little bit more specific, but like a Razor scooter.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about those.
That's a good
so
one.
legit.
I definitely.
Nothing felt better than ripping that thing into your shin when you
trying to fucking tail whip. You spin it around the first time your feet land, you're like, it's still got halfway to come around, and wham!
Oh, so many wrecks. I'm gonna grind on this piece of wood.
Yeah. I definitely asked for one of those as a kid. I had a friend. We each had one, and we went down this giant hill by my dad's house, and my friend, I don't know why he thought this, but he was like, I wonder how hot the brake, because it was just a metal thing you'd put your foot on to like stop the wheel, right? He was like, and you basically hold that the whole time you're going down a hill to just not go too fast. And he was like,
yeah, if you're a pussy.
Well, I guess my friend was, and he was like, I wonder how hot this thing is. So he touched the like metal thing that you push down on. He got he touched it like just quick, like that 3rd degree burn on his hand.
You think about those wheels though, like they're like rollerblade wheels.
Yeah,
they're not just like plastic or rubber. Yeah, they're like specific. And I can imagine those things getting just scorching hot.
Yeah.
But funny story, sort of what is related. In my freshman year of college, like 5 or 6 stories below me in the dorm, one of the people that lived on that floor, their dad was like the owner of Razor scooters. Like he literally owned the company, and just the dumbest, stupidest, cheesiest thing ever. Because of that person, I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, but they like supplied Razor scooters to everybody on that floor. And like, if you stopped, I think it was floor 8 and I was like on floor 14 or whatever. When you went down, if you stopped on floor 8, the elevators would open, and they had like duct taped parking lanes for their like 30 Razor scooters that they gifted everybody on that floor to use at college. And I was like, I don't even know, like if some kid gave me that like the first week of school in college, I'd be like, you are the biggest tool.
Yeah. I am not taking this to class. I don't want this.
I still have a bone to pick with, I don't know if it's a video game company or Razor scooter itself, but there was a contest that was ran when we were kids where it was like, come up with your own idea for a video game, and this video game company will pick a winner and actually make it into a video game. And I pitched like Razor scooter. It was like Tony Hawk, but like with a Razor scooter.
I played that video game.
And I got a letter say like, oh, you didn't win. Sorry, you didn't win. But then less than a year later, that fucking game came out, and it was exactly what I pitched. And I'm like, where are my fucking royalties? Like, this is clearly my original idea that they stole from me, a 12-year-old kid or whatever I was.
Well, yeah, they wanted a bunch of ideas because their guys couldn't come up
right? Like, what a way to like come up with an idea for video games or run a contest for other people to come up with an idea for you.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
So
that was that, man.
All right, Razor scooter, great pick. Like that's a good one. I didn't think of that. That's a good one.
Totally forgot about Razor scooters.
Yeah, they're again like the hottest thing for like a 3-year period. So
big time,
like
middle school,
11 to 14.
Yeah. My number 2 pick is something I actually never got, but I did ask for it, and it was a Game Boy Color. I mean, I had the brick, right? Like the gray brick.
That's actually on my list, is the brick.
Yeah, so I had that.
Also,
as
Game
a kid.
Gear. Game Gear was dope.
Yes, the Sonic game's the only game that
one?
you would ever play on the Game
Yeah.
Gear. It's like it. But Game Gear was cool. That thing was huge though. Like that thing
It
took
was.
up.
It was like
so-
rectangular.
Yeah. But yeah, Game Boy Color, that was like when Pokemon was huge, like in our age group, and
Late 90s.
it was actually like, oh, it's actually
Red
on
and blue.
color.
Nothing else exists
I
past
was
red and
gonna
blue.
actually say Pokemon, like cards in general, like as one of my guesses, but I was like, I don't know, it might be too dweeby.
No, I mean,
Nah, man, I had that on my list.
I had that. I mean, I didn't care about it for long enough for me to put it on like my draft list, but those are huge. I mean, people were
Yeah.
trading those.
Dude,
at
I had a
recess.
binder. Did you have the binder?
Yeah, of
Oh,
course
yeah.
I had a binder. It's like
Fuck
a 4x4 just full of like you
Yes,
gotta get
absolutely.
the holographic
Charizard,
ones.
bitch.
Yeah, Charizard
One
holographic.
that gets-
Dude, these are gonna be worth so much someday.
And another thing like Beanie Babies are gonna be
Yeah.
some actually.
Those
I think-
actually might be worth
I'd
money.
say-
though.
I was gonna say I think I read an article recently that actually Pokemon cards are actually worth a decent amount of money now.
Shit.
Yeah. I need to go back to my mom, see if I have that binder still. and
You
just
know your
see
mom's
what-
got it somewhere.
My mom doesn't throw away anything. Like it's still there, I'm sure.
Definitely
so.
got that shit.
So yeah, Game Boy Color. I never got it.
You might have
I
a Turbo Man hiding somewhere.
no, I do have a bunch of small soldier toys though. But yeah, Game Boy Color. I never got that one. I would get like a Game Boy later on, like one of the newer, like the later versions. But the Color I never got. But that was the one I remember specifically wanting, and then feeling like such a loser going to like friends' houses, like doing like linking up for Pokemon, and I have the brick. And everyone else has like the cool Game Boy Color, and I'm just like, yeah, here's my brick, I guess. But yeah, so that's my number 2 pick.
Oh, good one. My number 2 is Stretch Armstrong.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like one of the first toys I remember wanting as a kid, and I got one. I got a Stretch Armstrong, and it was cool for like a week until you ripped his arm off, and it didn't return, and then the insides were definitely going to give me cancer at some point in my life.
I've heard stories of people who like heat up a Stretch Armstrong to make him stretch out more than he should, but then he
doesn't
never.
stretch
But then,
back.
but then he doesn't stretch back. Yeah.
We should just have Stretch Armstrong versus Gumby
Yeah.
matchup. I feel like those are the two microwavable toys.
Yeah.
I remember getting it, and then my brother and I would see how far we could pull it, and he got smacked so many times because I'm a terrible brother.
Hey, your brother turned out all right. It's fine.
Questionable.
All right, back-to-back picks. What's your third pick, Quinn?
I was a huge K'NEX guy, so this is a toss-up between the K'NEX Tower Crane and the K'NEX roller coaster. The Tower Crane I got for Christmas, the roller coaster I got for a birthday. But the Tower Crane is one I always wanted. Thing was like 6 feet tall. It worked. It rotated. You could drop it and pick things up. It was so legit. And that was after Santa. That was after the Santa phase. I think I was probably in like 4th or 5th grade when I got that.
Is this like the stuff in Sandlot? When like
It is.
No, it's not the Erector
What was the
set.
same thing?
It's K'NEX.
What was
K'NEX
this
is like a
stuff in
plastic.
Sandlot?
the Rector set was
Oh
Sandlot.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay.
No, it's called K'NEX, and it's like a plastic erecting type toy thing. It's like Legos, but like bigger.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I was big into
look at.
K'NEX.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. At least I
K'NEX
think.
Tower Crane.
Yeah.
So legit. My mom did not want it in. I only could have it in the living room for a week because it took up so much damn room.
Okay.
It literally was like legitimately 5 feet tall. It was
Yeah.
huge.
Nice. No, I remember this vaguely. I don't remember like asking, but I remember. Oh, there's like a controller where you could like control
Yeah.
like how it moved
You
and
could
everything.
control and pick things up with it. It was
Okay.
really I would
Nice.
play with it now. I think Blake might be too young yet.
Let's just buy it for Christmas, but for yourself. So there you go.
That's gonna be half my toys. Blake, you could play with Legos. Oh, don't
Oh,
swallow
yeah.
those, honey.
Oh yeah, no, duh.
That's not candy.
No, yeah, that's what the first 5 years of Miles's life is gonna be, is just me buying toys for him, but they're really for me.
You're gonna be
Legos are so expensive.
Don't take them out of the package. They need to stay on the shelf.
Okay, I'm not that picky about it. They just happen to not be open.
It just happened to never have been open. And they also happen to be at a height that Miles could never reach them.
Oh yeah, I don't need him like messing anything up here.
I forgot toys aren't made to be played with.
Oh man. I definitely don't regret showing you guys, like, you know.
Man, we already knew. Well, I already knew.
You knew, but you didn't know, right? Like, it's one of those things.
Nah, I knew. I just have accepted it in our friendship. It's fine.
My next pick, it's not oddly connected to this in some way, but I remember asking for this, wanting this very bad, definitely in the Santa Claus phase. And I did get this, but it's a Star Wars Micro Machines, like scenes. So I'll share what it is. But it's like scenes from the original trilogy, but made like in kind of Lego form. And
I kind of feel like I recognize. Did they make other versions of that? Yeah. Not just for Star Wars, but like
it was Micro Machines, so I'm sure this is just like the Star Wars version, right? Like you see like the Hoth and the Dagobah, like you see these, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I played with these all the time. Like I remember being so excited when I opened these up for Christmas. You can't really do a whole lot with them. Like they're just here, and you like. I mean, it's like any toy. You just have like these action figures. You move them around. But, like this thing was cool. This like R2 would fit in the mouth of this like creature, and you could pull this lever back, and he would shoot out because like that's what happens in the movie. So yeah, I remember asking for these specifically and actually getting them. So like
I don't ever remember seeing these things.
Those
I feel like I have an idea of what you're talking about, but like I don't know if it was ever Star Wars that I had, but maybe
I'll be back.
Bo with your last two in a row after my awesome Star Wars Micro Machine picks.
I'd never heard of.
Awesome for me, all right.
That's fine.
I'm trying to figure out the name of these.
Okay.
And I'm just going to, but this doesn't, ooh, this is kind of it.
Sounded like the cheer.
This is fucking it. Okay.
Sounded like the cheer of a child right there.
Nope. Yeah. All right.
Santa, you are real.
This is it for sure. So my third pick. You know what? No, it's going to be my fourth pick. That's going to be my home run. So this third one is like special to me. Like it's in bones as a child. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had them. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but I always got them for Christmas because I loved them. Like it was always like one of the small little, probably like $5 gifts my parents would just give me because I was obsessed with them. Were the Hallmark keepsake ornaments, but they were like pro athletes.
Oh, okay. Well, sound cool. It sounds like it's like just an athlete ornament, like, but
it is.
You can get different ones.
Yeah. So like, how would I share it?
At the bottom, there's like a share button next to, like in a control.
Did that work?
Yeah.
This.
Yeah. Oh, Magic.
Yeah, like this. I have Magic Johnson, so that's one of the ones I thought of. But I have like Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett. Like I have probably like 40 of them. Like I have like Brett Favre, all these different ones.
That's cool.
I've never seen this.
I haven't either, but that's really cool. Like I might start trying to find them to give.
Great. You're gonna have a wall.
They're actually
unopened. I'm not gonna open them, but they're gonna be on my shelf. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do it.
You're gonna need to clear out some wall space back there.
Yeah, no, it'll clear off.
Okay, so last pick, right?
Yeah. Yep. Your last pick.
Your home run.
So I'm gonna show you. It's called Karate Fighters. I don't know if you know what they were. They were like little fighters. You could get different ones. You put them on little, like these little stands. They would like their foot would click into it, and you twist them, and it would swing their arms and legs. Like, they're almost like Rock'em Sock'em robots.
I don't know this, but it gave me a good idea for another gift that I really like.
What are they called?
Karate Fighters. Like this is like the original package, but you can get like multiple versions of them. But like if you YouTube them, you'll see like you put them on these stands, like you can kind of see in like the bottom, like this corner. I don't know. Can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
So like this. And then you put their foot on, and then their arms and legs would be like, they'd have joints. And so then you'd have like handles over here. You could move them, and it would swing.
Dude, this sounds like something I want to play right now.
Yeah, and they'd have like kill spots on their chest, so you try and like whip their legs around to hit the other dude's chest, and if you hit their chest, it would pop them off, and they'd go flying.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm all in on this. Where
They
can
were
I
dope.
buy
Those are like my favorite toys growing up.
Those are good. Those are toys that I might have to look into now. So
They were
that's
actually
always a
like
good
I
choice.
legitimately still have them in my parents' house. Like no,
What is it called? Karate what?
Fighters, I think.
Fighter?
I just googled it because I'm gonna try to. Yeah,
You
fighters.
find it?
Karate. Yeah, I did. Karate fighters.
Oh, these are legit. Not bad. $20.
Dude, buy it. It's worth it. I'm telling you, like even like the play.
Dude, oh my god, guys, you can get small soldier ones.
That's what I'm saying. You can get different.
Oh, really?
Like 8 different characters.
Yes.
You could have like battle royale.
You can get the two guys. God, I can't remember their names.
Chip
now.
and
Chip and Gorga, the lead of the
Fuck.
Gorga.
Yeah,
Started the
Archer.
Archer. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get them battling each other.
Silent
What?
B.
Oh, I'm all in on this.
All right, nice.
Thanks.
Speaking of Archer, quick cast note on Jingle All the Way. Chris Parnell is in this. Did you see Chris Parnell?
What?
He's the employee when Arnold goes, where's Turbo Man? And he starts laughing at him, and then he gets like the other employee, and he's like, oh, here, say what you're looking for. He goes, I'm looking for Turbo Man, and like all the employees start laughing, like he's been sold out for weeks. Chris Parnell is like the first guy that he like pulls aside. And this is his first movie, so that was a quick. Saying Archer made me think of
I
that
did
because he's
not
a
know
voice.
that.
He's a voice in Archer, I think, right?
Yeah, he is.
And he's in Rick and Morty too.
Also a great show.
Anyways, yeah, good pick. You're getting Quinn to maybe buy toys right now, so that's a good pick, I would say.
I already got a lot of stuff I gotta buy here.
My last pick, not as cool as Karate Fighters, and not something I necessarily want to buy right now, but when I was a kid, I wanted them. Do you guys remember the commercial for Moon Shoes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
Wait, am I
absolutely.
frozen?
You look frozen right now, but I can still hear you, Bo.
Okay, I'll just keep going then.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're definitely frozen.
I actually had moon shoes written down. You can't see it, maybe, but
I can't see it right now, but that's
You're frozen, buddy.
the image that it's frozen on for you is you like looking at your hand, like.
Hold
Are you
on.
checking your fingernails?
Well, my thing keeps freaking out my screen, so I turn my screen off, and then it.
Say now it. There we go. You're back.
There you go,
You're
you're
moving again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here. Moon shoes.
Moon shoes. Yep. I wanted moon shoes really bad. Never got them. I never did.
I don't. There's no way they would have worked.
No.
When you
way.
think about it, like that's
No
like an adult,
way.
like,
And
no
I
way.
think a bunch of kids got hurt because they'd roll their ankles because they tried to
Oh, yeah.
jump on them and they're just not landing right. But I wanted those
I
so
forgot
bad.
about moon shoes.
Yeah, dude.
Man, those things were legit.
Yeah. So yeah.
Legit not gonna work at all.
No. You maybe.
Yeah, they're like little trampolines on the bottom of your feet.
You maybe get like 6 inches off the ground. Like you're not really jumping that high.
Dude, the pictures of this are so 90s too. Can I share my screen? Let's see if I can share my screen.
You should be able to.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, it's going.
Look at this freaking picture. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way you're
It
getting
is.
enough. There's no way you're getting enough height to do anything like that.
Oh my goodness. So stupid.
I remember the commercial so much too. Like they made it look a lot cooler than it probably ended up being in real life. But so yeah, Moon Shoes is my last pick.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
All right, Quinn, your last one.
Last one. We all had them. We all play with them. We all still probably would still play with them. Tech decks.
Oh, that.
Were they the Healy, like the
That's a
skateboards,
good
right?
one.
Little
Yeah.
mini
I
skateboards.
did think of that. I never. I think I did ask for like the half pipe for Christmas one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was in.
I think I did ask for
Dude,
that.
could you imagine? I remember wanting all that stuff right now that I actually have disposable income. Like, I could legitimately just be like, I want to set up the dopest fucking skate park ever for like 150.
You could buy rails and
Cost
shit.
money.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it was so
Plastic
fun. You'd have everybody have them in class, and the teacher would get pissed. Put your skateboards away.
Really
Pick up a sweet
fidget
kickflip,
spinners.
teach. Boom.
That was a good one, Quinn.
I have an honorable mention too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have a
That's
couple
fun.
too. One of mine I saw on Bo's list too, actually. But yeah, what are your honorable mentions?
Go for it. You do yours first, since
I had a Nerf gun. Like
Yeah.
it was
anything Nerf guns.
Yeah,
I couldn't pick one though, because I was like,
the one that I got for Christmas. So it's the one that came to mind. It was kind of like a Tommy gun style. Like it was
yeah, it had the drop chain on
yeah,
it.
and it would
Yep,
you
that's the
pull
one.
the trigger and it would rotate. That's the one I had. I had another.
Or
I
a
had
squirt gun.
Yeah, super soakers were always
Yeah.
big. So the Nerf gun was like my big.
I don't know like what era it changed over from like CD disc players, but like the first original MP3 players, like iPods, was one of the ones. But I don't know if that was like you're 13, 14. That's almost pushing it, you know?
Yeah, it's a little.
I don't
later,
remember.
but-
I was definitely in like maybe 8th grade or freshman year when I got my first iPod Mini.
I know for a fact the iPhone came out our junior year of high school. Well,
iPod came out
in the
before
same
that.
class. Yeah, the iPod came out that, so it had to be at least 2 to 3 years before that. So we
Yeah,
had to be like.
I want to say I was probably a sophomore or freshman, because I remember going on the basketball freshman year. I had a CD player, and then I got one probably sophomore year, because that's when Eminem's his encore CD came out, and I listened to that.
Dude, we're so far off. The original iPod came out in 2001.
What the shit? I was deprived.
I should have
I wasn't
picked
a
an
rich kid,
iPod.
so
I should
I had
have
to buy
picked
it
an
myself.
iPod. The only problem is
no
I
idea.
only really remember having an iPod when like playing sports in school and going to and from on the bus.
That's when I had mine.
Yeah.
Driving your car. So you were already like 15, 16. Like I don't remember.
You remember the big like FM tuners you would stick in your
dude. That's
cigarette
what I
lighter,
was-
and they never work.
No, they were
Never.
You'd go 10 miles down the road.
Find the
with a
one
chain.
channel
Well,
like
so-
90.5 that had
Yeah.
nothing playing on it.
It was
the more staticky would work.
88.3 here. It was like
Yeah.
88.3 and 88.5 around Milwaukee.
No, I had one of those too. It's just a block you'd plug into the bottom of it,
Yep.
and you'd
Yeah.
get to those. Yeah, you're right. They rarely worked.
And then
The thing that actually worked for me really
But
well.
anytime a cassette player.
That's what I was gonna say. Like my car
That
was
thing
old enough
always
where
worked.
I had a cassette. Like I was one of the times I was happy my car was so fucking old that I had a cassette player.
I
just
never had a
put that
cassette
in.
player, so I had to do those freaking
Yeah,
FM tuners.
Exactly. I was happy I had an old car, and it had the cord that would come out.
Yeah,
and you
it
just
worked
plug
like
it in.
it worked amazing. It was
Yeah.
way cheaper. It was
Yeah.
like $10 for that thing.
That was a lot lower technology, but the quality was better, I guess. So
Dude, it was way better. It was like the original aux cord.
yeah, pretty much.
So,
Right.
So my honorable mention, the yo-yos where it dropped and it spun. Like
Yeah.
you throw
The
it down and
cheap
it would.
yo-yos?
It had the mechanical something in it that would make it spin.
No,
Cheap
for sure.
Yo-yos. 5th
I
grade.
think- I guess the only other I did remember one more honorable mention. It was Star Wars related. Shocker. The Boba Fett ship. It's been in the Mandalorian if you watched Mandalorian, but
fucking nerd.
slave fucking nerds are awesome now, man. Nerds are cool. But it was a Slave One ship, which was huge. But I asked for that for Christmas too. I remember that.
The only random one thing that I kind of remember when I was kind of Googling like 90s nostalgia toys. I don't even think I had one of these, but I always want to play them when other people had them, was the Tamagotchi things.
I didn't
yeah,
have
the little
those.
thing that you always killed.
I know what you're talking about. So many people had them. A lot of my friends. I didn't care about those.
like I said, I never had one, but I always felt like when my friends had one, I wanted to mess around with it.
Yeah, I would mess around, but it was like it felt like too much work for me. Like
I feel like so many of the things were like I feel like video games. Like I think about nostalgic video games, and that was like it was hard to go. Like you went with like GameCube, but a specific one. Like, but I remember like dreaming of NFL Blitz 2000. Like
that game was legit.
Yeah.
Or even when we were like 12 or 13, what was it like? The Navy SEALs game. It was like the first OG like shooter multiplayer
Call of Duty
game for
was
PlayStation
that the number? Oh, Counter-Strike.
No, it wasn't Counter-Strike. I know that, but it was literally called like Navy SEALs something or SEALs something.
I remember
the first Medal of Honor game when you would storm like Duty Day. That one I still remember.
The two video games I remember asking for.
SOCOM.
Okay.
That's
two I remember asking for was Zelda Majora's Mask. Like not Ocarina of Time, but the second one. That one I remember asking for. And then the game, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a game where like you'd be a truck or you'd pick a car. And it was like a multiplayer thing, and you'd shoot missiles at each other and you try to blow each other up.
Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Twisted Metal.
That
game was awesome.
Legit.
Those are the two I remember asking for. So, yeah,
I didn't get into the gaming world until I was like a sophomore, junior in high school with PS2.
Say high school.
And my first game was the Call of Duty Rising Sun.
Okay. I was like a Nintendo and then Xbox person, so I played a lot of Halo, but I didn't really get into like gaming until college when I got a PS3. And oddly enough, like now, like I'm playing a lot more video games now more than ever. No, so that was a good draft. Bringing up memory lane there, just all this nostalgia.
Talk about nostalgic trip.
Yeah.
Dude, Razor scooters, man, that brings back so many freaking painful memories of busting my ass on my friend's driveway trying to grind on wood 2x4s. So stupid.
That's the thing. It's like you made the most ratchet things. Like you just like one metal pipe would be found in your neighbor's dumpster. You're like, oh, figure out a way to handle this.
Dude, we had, you know him. You met Derek Sina. Remember Derek Sina? Matt, you've met him.
When did I meet him? Your wedding or what?
Yeah, we have bachelor party and wedding stuff, and he was on our Ragnar team as a sub this year, but that would go through. But yeah, him and I would have Razor scooters, and we'd always just bust our ass.
I'm sure. So he was at your bachelor party, like in the Dells?
Yeah.
There were like 3 or 4, I think, of your like high school friends. I'm probably getting them kind of mixed up with each other. Well, Ty, yeah, I know.
Yeah, and then Ethan, and then Derek. Those were the 3 from high school that I played.
Was he the one that climbed up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, I remember.
Okay, that's all we got for you on today's The Good, Bad, and the Garbage. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned or subscribe if you haven't already to listen in our next episode, which is the sequel to the movie we just talked about, if you can call it that, Jingle All the Way 2, which stars Larry the Cable Guy. So, yeah, you don't want to miss that, and we'll see you next time.